we come back to this fairly regularly. If someone came up to you or messaged you and said,
I'm buying a QX60.
I'm going to buy a QX60.
Okay.
Okay. It's a good car. You're not going to have any fucking problems with it.
Why is that such a Nissan thing, though? Because the last car we talked about that was the Kicks.
You're right. However, you had a relative come to you and say, I'm going to buy a Nissan Rogue, and you successfully talked her out of it.
Yeah, she got an
Nissan.
Explorer, which
That's not much better.
but at least it's not a Rogue.
Episode 23. You know, there was a Miley Cyrus song called 23. Did you ever, were you ever?
So we've gone from Taylor to Miley.
Right. Well, it's the one. It's when Miley was really in her crazy days. Let me tell you.
That was her best era. It was really her best era.
It was not long after she swang bare naked ladies on the wrecking ball. She did a song with some rap star.
I saw her perform that live at Lala.
Okay.
With,
did you?
With like Wiz Khalifa and
yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, some other rapsters, and that's what they like to be called, right? Rapsters. Is that the proper terminology?
Kind of sounds like a microaggression to me.
And she's very into the whole hip hop scene in that music video.
Is she? I've never seen.
23 is the name of the song. It's about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan wore 23. I don't know. This isn't a basketball podcast. This is a damn car podcast. Episode 23. Daily Motor. We're here. It's Chris. It's Charlie.
Hello.
And we have so many fun cars right now. I mean, we are #blessed. Sports cars. Anytime we got 2 manuals, it's a good week.
What's the other manual?
Miata.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You also know it's a good week when the Miata has been sitting for a majority of time.
Such a shame.
It is really a shame because it's beautiful. It's convertible.
Yeah,
weather.
it would have been a great Miata week, but I drove it twice for like 15 minutes.
Well, you got to ride in it with me as we got pulled over.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But didn't have to utilize off the record because we were.
But if you do need to get out of a traffic ticket, what's your
code's probably Daily Motor.
Click the link in the description. Click the link in the description to save money and give us money for getting a ticket.
Yeah, we've gotten multiple tickets and gotten out of every single one of them, or at least reduced to a non-moving violation fine.
When I was bullied by a cop in Saline, off the record, saved me, and most importantly, saved my license.
This sounds like a 2 a.m. infomercial for like some diabetes like product.
And then it like slowly fades into Skrillex afterwards.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a fun, exciting week. Let's just kind of work backward.
Okay.
It's Monday night. You are leaving tomorrow to drive the Toyota Sequoia as well as other vehicles.
Yeah.
Which you cannot name because it's embargoed.
I can't name because I don't even know what they are.
You know what one of them is?
I don't know if I'm driving it.
Oh, well.
I know what's being revealed. I just don't know if I'm driving it.
Chris got an email that the Topher and I both didn't get about a new product release, so there's a pretty strong chance he's driving that said product.
Yeah,
but
well, we'll see.
Really seeing it.
Definitely seeing
first
it.
in the world.
Probably not driving it, though. Maybe. But yeah, Charlie's had 3 sips of his gluten there.
Don't forget the Taco Bell.
And
the LaCroix.
Taco Bell and wow.
And 3 Oreos to try.
Do you do this like on purpose for the...
No, it's just been one of those days.
Okay. Yeah, I gave him some firework Oreos, which if you're unfamiliar, it's an Oreo with Pop Rocks in the middle.
That was pretty gnarly. I appreciated that.
Yeah. They taste just like Oreos, but they make fireworks in your mouth.
If you've never had Pop Rocks, they're little carbon dioxide filled sprinkles, essentially.
Yeah.
So when you put them in your mouth, the sort of outer casing dissolves and they pop in your mouth with these little tickles.
Yeah.
And if you've never had Oreos, they're these delicious chocolate cookies. Well, you can't make assumptions. I always find that Oreos have too much filling. I don't care much for the white.
You know, they make like triple
thins.
Stuff and like quadruple stuff where they're just like bursting with the white stuff.
I don't care for that.
Anyways, yeah.
You'll be in Texas.
Going to Texas.
Did you
to the
pack your
headquarters.
cowboy hat?
Huh?
Did you pack a cowboy hat?
Of course. I've got like 4 Stetsons packed.
Yee.
Boots. I've got like the boot cut jeans. But driving the Sequoia for sure. There's going to be like 2 or 3 product reveals that I don't know what all of them are. And then we're driving something on track. They won't tell me what we're driving on track.
It's probably the GR Corolla.
I hope so. I'm going to bring my own helmet, so it better be worth it. Whatever we're driving. If it's like watch it be a 2-liter Supra. I won't even do it. I literally will sit out.
They're going to hear this podcast. Jen Greenfelder's just going to happen to listen to this one or whatever.
Hello, Jen.
And then they're going to be like, well, you were going to drive the GR Corolla.
Yeah,
and
but
everyone else is going to drive the GR Corolla. But you have to drive a 2-liter Supra first. And if you don't say nice things, you don't get to drive the GR Corolla.
I would do it in that case.
Yeah. Chris is just there. Hey, everybody. Chris here from Daily Motor. And have I told you about the 2-liter Supra, the best car on sale in 2022? You could do it.
I would do
it. You could sell out for the GR Corolla.
Yeah, totally.
Cars you'd sell out for.
GR Corolla. Well,
many
cars
Porsches.
I've driven.
Sure.
The Cadillac.
Really?
Yeah. And Lexus LC500.
Yeah.
And probably the C8 Corvette. Veloster and manual, or any manual N car.
Fair enough.
That's probably about it.
Yeah, you and I were talking a little bit earlier today about the Civic, not Civic, Jesus Christ. The
Veloster?
Corvette.
We
need to stop doing these at night. It's not even the beer. It's just the fact that we stood out in the sun and did track laps.
I almost fell asleep on the way home.
Yeah,
I had to, blast music.
The Corvette, the C8 Corvette, in that they're becoming common now. And you just see tools driving them, and I feel like the only way you could get one is to get such a perfect spec to like show that you're an enthusiast somehow. But that's where the Grand Sport Corvette has always been nice, because douchebags don't buy Grand Sports. Because there's
unless
base
it's the only Corvette on the used car lot.
Well, sure, that's different. But douchebags, non-douchebags,
rich
douchebags, I guess. Yeah. I see what you mean. But yeah, the Stingray could be douchebags, the Z06 could be douchebags, but the Grand Sport shows that you care more about driving than showing off.
Do you think they'll make a C8 Grand Sport?
I hope so. I could see them not, because it's probably the lowest take rate. And they're going to have the hybrid one.
And the E-Ray.
Yeah. Maybe the E-Ray will be kind of a Grand Sporty sort of thing. I don't know.
Is the E-Ray going to be the plug-in, or is it going to be
all electric?
Full EV?
Yeah, I think so.
That's going to be that's going to give whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be really fast.
Yeah. So let's work backward then. I guess we can go into
I'm going to start with the Pathfinder.
How far back? Oh. No, let's start with the, because we spent a lot of time in the warm titanium Pathfinder last week. So let's talk about 2 cars we drove today.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. The Cadillac CT5V Blackwing 6-speed manual. You know what? I didn't expect this. I think I would have the CT4.
Yeah, I wouldn't, but I can see why you'd say that.
Yeah.
The CT4 is more of the driver's car.
It is.
Yeah.
And
they're both great, but
it shames me to say, because I love the 6.2 LS, and I love it even more when it's supercharged.
Yeah.
But my gosh, is that thing a weapon? And the CT4 was satisfying to just daily drive in a very, as you said, driver's car and sports car sort of way. That it did a really good job at being like a manual sedan that could be tracked, could be spirited driven, could be daily
drift.
Yeah, just anything. And probably didn't get horrendous fuel economy. The CT5V Blackwing, anytime I get in it, I feel like I'm just 2 seconds away from jail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and I think I'm done driving it at this point, and I was not arrested. However, you are not out of the woods yet, because you've got like 2 more days of filming with that car.
Right.
I drove it for 3 days, and
it was close.
It was close. I did. Oh yeah, it was close on the test loop. Luckily, I was in a spot where I was like not going fast, but
yeesh, could have been worse.
You know what? What's the worst part about that is he was in a spot that I generally go by at over 100.
Was he?
He was right.
Was it before oversteer?
No, between oversteer and guardrail.
He was there?
Yes.
Sitting on the right or the left side?
Sitting on the side of the road, on the right side.
I wonder if he had just pulled someone over or something and was like
possibly
chilling.
Well, no, because I saw him driving like towards oversteer. So I went off into the roundabout and went left because I was like, screw that. I'm not going behind him.
This was a state police officer, by the way.
It was a state cop. And then I came around the back way out past, on the other side of guardrail to turn right to go back towards the roundabout. And he was right there, just sitting. And part of me was like, was he like waiting for me? Like, did he see me fucking around earlier and like
could have heard you
waiting?
Too? That could have been reports.
Yeah, right. Because I was on the test loop with that car multiple times, like just ripping.
Yeah.
Like,
and it is a loud car. We're at the track today, Gingerman Raceway.
It's a loud car, yeah.
It's much louder from the outside than the inside.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it's as loud as it is. I guess if you drop the windows, you get but if you're like riding in that thing with the windows up, and even if you're in like the loud exhaust setting, like it doesn't seem
you're like,
loud.
oh, it's a V8.
Yeah.
It's definitely loud, but
yeah,
then you
it's
put the windows down or something.
It's very loud.
Yeah, gosh, I did a good job with that.
Yeah.
And quite a good car on the track. A little more refined than I would want from a track car.
Yeah, it was too good for Charlie. He wishes it was worse.
Well,
is I understand. I get it.
But
it was very, very, very good.
The Topher drove it, and he pointed out that if you entirely defeat stability control, which generally I don't do, I will do in like a Miata.
No,
on
he
the
does
track.
though.
He does.
He drives at 10/10.
He really does. Even the press cars. And don't worry,
on
Cadillac, the car made it.
On track, he does.
Yes.
On the street, not.
Right. No, of course not. But he said when it feels a little heavy-handed when it's getting inhibited by the stability control. But when you disable everything, which fortunately you can do, then he said it dances. And he had a lot of fun kind of hanging it out. And I could see that because it is a fairly linear power progression. It's not an on-off switch. It's not manic.
No.
Very refined, very well calibrated. GM performance cars are always great with that.
Yeah. Clutch shifter, brilliant.
Very good weight.
No lift shift, brilliant. Auto rev matching, brilliant.
Yeah, it all works very well.
Noise, brilliant.
It's loud on the highway, but I can't necessarily fault it. It's just the tires.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't loud on the way there.
Maybe that's what we did to the tires at the track.
Have you seen the tires?
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cadillac. Appreciate that one.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's why it was loud because it wasn't loud for me.
Okay, that's good.
Unless it was just because I was blasting music, but also on the way there I was on the phone, so like it wasn't that loud.
AKG premium stereo system. You were spot on. A-. Just barely.
Thank you. I'm starting to.
You're really getting pretty dialed in there. Well, you experience more of them.
Yeah,
it's just you kind of like you sort of get an idea of where they stack. Doesn't take rocket science.
Right.
And you're kind of you're into music too.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a little bright. Like the mid to highs,
treble, like high,
kind of came too harsh in your ears. And I was a little surprised that for $100,000 car, I mean, I know it's a performance car, but it's also a luxury car. No advanced audio adjustments. You just had like your bass mid-range treble.
I was in there looking for like a surround setting.
No surround, anything, just normal and rear for sound modes and stuff. So that's where, to be an S-tier sound system, not only you have to sound amazing, you have to have all of it. You have to have like a 9-band equalizer. You have to have all the inputs. I mean, you have it's a whole package.
Bonus points if you're Bowers and Wilkins in a Volvo S90 with concert mode.
Yes,
concert hall.
Actually, the Gothenburg
Symphony Hall,
Gotham
studio. Like
there's a jazz club
in
the new ones as well. Yeah,
I want to drive another one of those again so badly.
Well, let's take a look and see if the S90 that you will be
that's right.
for 9 hours or so will have the Bowers and Wilkins. Let's hope that supply chain hasn't smited you.
The only thing that worries me is that it's an R design. So I feel like it's going to be set up more for discomfort.
For discomfort. No Volvo should ever be discomfortable. Well, first, this is the XC60 we're getting this week.
No, I won't even see this. Actually, I'll have like a day and a half.
Yeah,
with
like
this.
the weekend, yeah.
Oh, it's a T8?
Oh, shit. It's a Polestar.
I thought it was a...
Oh.
They gave you the wrong car.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, it was not supposed to be a T8.
Yeah, because we've already had this car.
Not that exact car. It's a different year.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you guys had
it does have the Bowers and Wilkins though. What does it say? Yeah, you're right. I think that got swapped because it was not a T8 originally.
You have it in the schedule as like a T5 or a T6 or something.
Yeah, I should. I mean, it's probably too late at this point, but rough. I mean, I like that car, but
S90.
Here we are. Thunder Gray Metallic, I think is the color. Harman Kardon. Darn. Oh no, wait, down here it's a separate option. Bowers and Wilkins.
$3,200.
It's steep, yeah. So the our design itself gets you Harman Kardon, and then
I don't care
down
about
here Bowers and Wilkins is an add-on.
It's worth it. Every penny. It's worth every penny. I would pay $10,000 for that sound system.
Chris, this is going to be an excellent car for your traveling because it has the
got
Bowers
air
Wilkins
suspension, too.
4-corner adaptive air suspension, the 20-inch wheels. Could
I don't
really
care. Thank you,
but
because this is probably one of the most ideal vehicles for what I need it for.
And 31 mpg highway.
It'll probably do even better.
Probably. And it was assembled in China.
So it's probably very good quality.
Yeah. Yep. We love our Chinese audience here.
Can I see the
the profile here?
That is an attractive car.
The other good thing
I
about
wish it was
this
a
car,
wagon.
You'll be able to fly by police at about 100 miles per hour, and they'll never think it's you.
It's so the wheels don't help. If it had if it had like 17-inch wheels, it would be
this little
invisible
design element of the wheel makes it look like it's going fast. That's not going to help you out.
Color's the interior.
A little boring. It's a boring appearance.
It's okay,
but
I really like that car. It's a really good car.
I like the spec we had last year that was brown.
That was
This is a
proper
good brown
Volvo.
car.
The brown, it was a very brown car.
You'll need to really try to sell this car because Volvo's probably not going to make the S90 too much longer here in America or for America.
Yeah, I know.
But
well, who's going to listen to me about it?
Well, maybe someone who listened to us about Genesises, because this is probably cheaper than a G90. And I would rather.
I haven't driven a
G90. Oh, you haven't?
Never. Yeah. I've barely driven a G80. I drove a G80 back when I was only doing social stuff.
Those are good too. G80s are good.
What else is on there?
Some good cars. XC60, LC500, S90, Miata, XC4. We've gone 40, 60, 90 in Volvos in a month. It's fun.
Nothing. Oh, it ends at S. Sorry, I was like not reading it. I was like, wait.
Yeah. I'll probably get a car for that week, and then another one. Yeah. We'll build out the schedule a little bit more. Yeah.
I'm very excited. I love the S90.
So yeah, CT5V Blackwing, absolutely good car.
Fabulous car.
Very good. I think I would take the CT4 V Blackwing, but that's not to take away at all from the CT5.
I would take the 5 just because like what?
How much longer are you gonna have V8 manual sedans? Yeah,
it's that's it. There won't be another one from Cadillac.
Yeah, but does anyone else make a V8 manual sedan right now? Large? I mean, you could get an M3 or M4.
Those aren't V8s, obviously. No.
I don't think so.
No.
Because you can't get the Charger anymore in a manual.
You could never get the Charger in a manual.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, Charger's only ever been automatic.
Okay.
Unless you go back to like the 70s and 60s.
Yeah. So I think Cadillac is where it's at.
Watch them be like, there's like actually a car that we're forgetting about. There's nothing from Audi, nothing from Mercedes, nothing from BMW, nothing from Ford, nothing from Stellantis, and the Japanese don't make anything like that.
The Chevy SS would have been one of the last like normal ones.
Yeah.
Non-luxury.
When did that end? Like 2018.
2018ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the Italians do anything? No, they don't do anything manual anymore, do they?
Mm-mm. Too complicated for them. They're busy crashing their cars. Yeah. So CT5V Blackwing,
Please, yeah.
It's the last.
Yeah, buy one.
Speaking of cool V8 sedans, guess what I saw on the highway today coming back? And you may have saw it too, but you probably would have mentioned it.
I don't know.
Lexus ISF.
Did you?
Not the new one.
Was it silver?
The old one is white.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. I gave the guy like a thumbs up. Oh, thanks. Those are the ones with the cool exhaust pipes.
Yeah, the quad.
Yeah. Those are good cars.
Sorry, but that
kind
just
of
reminded
you
me.
haven't tried to get one.
An ISF? They're so expensive.
I know.
Yeah, let me just go spend $30,000 on a car that's gonna sit here and drive 200 miles a year.
Well, instead you just have $30,000 worth of cars that are just sitting here.
Yeah. So why would I want to have $60,000 worth of cars sitting here? I have never driven a car that got more positive attention than that CT5
Really?
I had like 4 separate people give me thumbs up on the fuel economy test.
Wow.
I had people like taking video of me and pictures and all kinds of stuff.
Which is remarkable because we have infrared tint coat. It's a beautiful color, but it's not the most flashy.
I didn't think anyone would know what it was.
No.
I was like, oh, people just think I'm an old man in a Cadillac. Because it's really not that flashy. It's got a little carbon fiber spoiler.
But the dark red kind of hides
the gold
carbon
wheels
fiber.
Also could be a part of why people notice.
Right.
But I had a car full of people with video cameras. I had a car full of like college age dudes that were like,
wow,
sweet. And then literally today I was getting gas and the guy next to me at the gas pump was like, I can't believe that's a Cadillac. That thing's awesome. And I was like, yeah, thanks.
People do really seem to like the styling of the CT5 and CT4, which is interesting because I prefer the CTS in ATS styling, but like even just today,
I prefer the ATS over the CT4, but I do prefer the CT5 over the CTS.
Fair enough.
The CT4, the back of it looks like an envelope.
You're right. Yeah, or a whale or something like that. Yeah, it is strange.
It's very like,
that's a good one.
Yeah. Credit to my buddy Eric for pointing that out yesterday or 2 days ago. He was like, this looks so much better. It doesn't look like an envelope. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, the 4 looks like an envelope. Like, yeah, I guess it does.
I guess it does. Anything else on the Caddy? It was good. It was fast, a little heavy, but it's it's just a good car.
It was so funny. Last night I was driving the Miata to shoot the night drive for Winding Road, and I got out of the Miata and into the Cadillac, and the Cadillac literally felt like an SUV after driving the Miata. It was so funny. I felt like I was like in a big car. I mean, it is kind of a big ar.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it. Yeah. You can put 4 adults in it.
It looks massive. When I was out on the track with Chris earlier in the BRZ and you went past us, I was like, that car is huge. Like, it looks hilarious out on the track.
Yeah, it's and also something about the way it makes speed. Maybe it's just because it is a little larger. You don't feel the sensation of how fast you're going as much.
You don't.
You look down and you're like, oh.
No, and I did that earlier.
Sure.
Some Karen in a Blazer tried to run me off the road. So in an effort to get away from her, I pinned it and no lift shifted a couple of gears. And then I looked down and I was going, can I say it on here how fast I was going?
I don't see why not.
Well,
got off the record.
Sorry, on a closed course. Okay.
Professional driver.
Karen was on a closed course. I looked down, I was going 130. And I was like, okay, on the brakes. Took the first exit.
Yep.
So,
also, I apologize for that situation earlier.
It's fine.
I should have made it more clear, like, we're doing all 4 and then.
Well, in my brain, we did a loop. So, like, after one loop, we would just be back on the same road. So that's why I was confused. And also, the same Karen almost hit you also.
Well, I gotta say, I kind of teed you up for that one because.
Oh, you set me up. Is that what you're saying?
So this was a 4 cloverleaf that I dragged Chris down earlier today, and I was in the Veloster and he was in the Cadillac, and I come flying 70 miles per hour on this off ramp, and she was in her proper lane in. Like going down the 55-mile-an-hour road that I was coming onto.
Oh, so we just terrorized some poor woman.
Like, right. I mean, like, I was in control, but to her, it probably looked traumatizing, like a missile coming at her. So then
powder blue missile.
Right. I took off with pops and bangs and got out of the way. But then she needed to get onto the highway, which is also where you were coming up on. So she was probably freaked out, panic mode. Yeah. And you just were with me.
I had that, and then I had So she did her thing, and then there was a Toyota Tundra that just completely cut over into me. Oh. So I had to clip the shoulder. It was a very chaotic experience, which is why I ended up going 130 because I was like, I need to get out of here. Like,
well, I had fun, so
I did too. Good. Yeah, but I mean, it just added like 7 minutes onto my trip. Right, so whatever.
One thing that Cadillac is good at is turning petrol into noise. And
credit to Jeremy for that line.
Yeah, because and a lot of it. We got roughly 4 miles per gallon on the track, and what your highway fuel economy test was
21,
which is interesting because I got quite a bit better than that on our drive back, but it's probably because there was a lot of traffic.
Well, the computer read 23.8.
Okay,
but my math was like 20.9, 21. So I always say at the end, like, here's what the car said, here's our math, like however you want to take it, like.
Sure. Fair enough.
If they're far apart, if they're like right on it, I'm just like, here's perfect. The number. But
cool. Well, the other car that we had out on track today was the Hyundai Veloster N
DCT,
and it affirmed my decision that I would get the manual.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because the thing is, the DCT is excellent.
Oh, it's great. It's better than Volkswagen's dual clutch.
Right. But I would only get the DCT if I either lived in New York City.
Yeah.
Or if I were racing the car for time. Like if I were like actually like racing it.
Yeah, but the thing about the Veloster N is you don't care about any of that while you're driving it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be that like 1/10 of a second faster.
No.
I just want to make loud noises and have gunshots.
Yeah.
You know.
And the manual car has a slightly louder exhaust.
Yeah.
And on, for example,
it's a good manual on that car.
It's a great manual.
It's a really good manual.
And on our track day today, you and I both noticed there's so much grip with that car.
Yeah.
That it's not boring.
I never even squealed the tires.
Easy.
It just
right. I took stability control all the way off for my last session, and I still was not like getting any spin up or anything.
Did you notice how hard it shifts in N mode?
Oh, it like
it grips your neck.
There's a special track mode. There's a special track shift pattern. Oh, I don't know if you noticed on the gauge cluster at all that it said like N track mode or something up on the very top. It recognizes when you're driving on the track, and there in the performance options in the N screen, you can enable both like a track shift that does those very, very aggressive shifts, and there's one other track thing that you can enable that we had them both on. But yeah, it's like it's unnecessarily
very, very harsh.
I don't get why it needs to be that harsh, but it's a lot. And yeah, I would just take the manual because I'd rather be challenged a little bit more on track and feel a little bit more involved, because this car, you kind of just put your foot down and steer, and it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you
brake.
It makes you feel like a pro. That car
does.
I changed my own gears because I like to be more engaged on the track. So I don't like to let the car do the gears for me.
I let the car do the gears for me.
You know?
Yeah.
I just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was enough for me to beat Mr. Topher in his BRZ, though.
It was.
Yeah.
You guys were having some fun out there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty handily, which, remarkably, he cooked his brake fluid first session.
Yeah.
I mean, that car just doesn't have a ton of brake cooling.
Mm-hmm.
And what's surprising, though, he had fresh DOT 4
he had
fluid
some
in there.
really good fluid in there.
Yeah, so he was a little disappointed in that.
Well, he had 2 other cars to drive. At least that wasn't his only thing.
Yep. And he didn't end up running his track tires, but I would have liked to have driven the BRZ, because that car was so much. Anytime I've driven a BRZ so far, it's been so good.
Yeah, I like that car. I drove it at M1.
Yeah.
Not super hard,
but still like enough to have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you had to go out tomorrow and purchase either a Veloster N or a BR, you'd take the Veloster over the BRZ?
Yeah. However, a GR86.
Well, okay. That's
that would be tough. Probably the well, I need to spend more time in a GR86 or a BRZ, because I've literally
a lot of time.
The only time I've spent in those cars is Chris's car at M1 and a GR86 at Road America on the autocross course.
You weren't around for our presser we had? We had an automatic presser.
No. Huh. You guys didn't. We had 3 cars. We had 3 cars that week, and I drove something else.
Okay, fair enough.
That was before I was like doing a lot. It was like right before I started, like before we split and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, and that was such a quick, like it was the first loaner we had, so we had tried to get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Chris was very wanted all of his content, which
it sold the car.
It's like literally his bread and butter for his channel. So
I mean, it's right there. The old one is still in his photo. He doesn't own any of the cars in his YouTube channel cover photo.
I was just thinking that the other day. I was like, none of these cars are his anymore, because the Volvo was the last one.
Right.
Oh wait, is that? Well, he kind of
He does. Yeah, I mean, he sold it.
Yeah, but did he tell anyone that he sold it? The 5 people that are listening to this.
Oh no!
Don't tell anyone.
It's going into cast mode, so I guess it's not going to show. Not going to show his channel, but yes, all his cars are gone. But apparently, we're not telling you all that.
Yeah, no, we just lied about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Volvo is definitely still in his garage.
Yeah. With that being said, though, if you are a subscriber of the Topher, you'll definitely still see the Volvo. Like, you'll still see videos on the Volvo.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he'll still do videos on it.
Okay.
Since it's at such ease,
Kind of.
But anyways,
I don't know if I would choose which one I would choose, because what I do like about the Veloster, it doesn't feel like a compromise car. There's something about it. The cabin is quite airy and well laid out. And the
Veloster?
Yeah, the Veloster. And there's something about driving it when you're just in normal mode. It just feels like a very nice, pleasant car.
Mm-hmm.
I would worry that the BRZ or 86, if I owned one, I'd always kind of feel like I'm driving a juvenile car.
Yeah.
I just like something about the tightness of the cockpit, the lowness, everything about it. I like it, but I almost would like sometimes like say you needed to go to like an important business meeting for something, or you're meeting your parents for brunch. I would feel a little bit more like a.
So you're arguing for the Veloster here?
Because if you drive it in normal mode, it's plenty quiet. At least it does still look a little.
You pull up to dinner. Hello, mom and dad. Versus them not even hearing you pull up in a 86 or a BRZ.
Well, like there's a gentleman who owns a black Veloster N near our building here.
I hear him every single time
really?
He comes in and out. Yes,
but the car looks nice.
It does. It's black. It looks good in black. Yeah, you got the little red accents. And
yeah, I feel like that's a more mature looking car at least. If you could put it in
the
eco
Veloster
mode,
N is the furthest thing from mature. It's like literally a 12-year-old's car.
But I feel like I would feel more like a 12-year-old in the BRZ, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But the Veloster allows you to turn it on and off with that special button.
That is very nice. Yeah, I do appreciate that. I would probably go Veloster.
I think I would too. Partially just to support the Veloster cause, or even just the N car cause.
Yeah.
Even if I got
really
an Elantra.
Elantra.
Yeah.
Elantra would be what I would want.
I'm just
I
gonna
know
wait.
you think it's hideous, but I think it looks really cool.
I'm gonna wait until the facelifted Elantra that is less radically styled. I don't know if you've noticed, but Hyundai always goes back and forth with like crazy.
So does
styling.
Honda.
Yeah, a lot of brands I think go like
and BMW. But apparently, the facelift, the life cycle impulse of the 4 Series is ditching the big grille.
That
allegedly,
awesome.
I saw something. I think it was on BMW blog. They were like, "Oh, we have a rumor that the big grille is going away, not for the M cars, but for just the base 4 Series."
We know what that means is that the big grille 4 Series will become collectibles someday. It'll be
Yeah,
like, oh, I have one of the big grille cars.
Totally,
just like Bangle Butt 7 Series are gonna.
Those are never gonna be collectible.
They're gonna be there.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
Okay, the only reason those would ever become collectible is if there were literally 3 left in existence, which probably will happen someday.
Running cars, yeah.
There are probably I bet you there are less E65s on the road than E38s, the previous generation.
Yeah. At this point, you might be right because insurance would total them just
for
like all sorts of different reasons. Because
the E65, it's just the worst generation of 7 Series ever made. Yeah.
It looks like
such a hateful car.
I like it. I like
that one's but that's a facelift.
I like everything designed by Chris Bangle.
His era of BMW was the worst era, though.
No, I quite like them.
Because like that was all the horrible like
what a nice
reliability
interior.
issues. The interior is horrible also.
Yeah, but what did Bangle have to do with the reliability?
No, nothing. It's not his fault. I'm just saying that his era, not his designs, but his era when he was there.
Anyways,
that looks even worse.
Still better looking than this.
No.
This
you don't like the
I don't like the black right here.
Well,
the
then get
plastic.
it black, and you can't see it.
Oops.
That's also not.
That's better.
That looks good.
Oh, that's a rendering before it even came out. This is probably the color I'd get. But
it's less noticeable on that car.
I still don't love it. I would get this wrapped. In body
That would look cool.
It'd look quite nice.
Yeah, I
In
know.
fact, I'd probably have the best looking Elantra N. That's what I got to do now.
Probably would have to get it painted because they'd have trouble color matching a wrap.
Okay. All right.
So you'd probably want to get it painted.
I will sell the Maverick and Elantra N and paint that.
And have Corbett paint those for you. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, look at that in white. That's just horrendous.
No, it's fine. It looks fine.
Look at this photo.
That does not look good there.
Yeah.
That looks bad from that angle. I will give you that.
Thank you. Oh, here's a black one down here. That's an N line. Sorry. That's not the full N car. N line was a tad underwhelming. I drove it as. It's fine.
I should have driven it. I just
it's not as good as the 4.
It was so funny. We were at the hotel at that N event that I was at. The event, and they set out a bunch of N-line cars for us to drive to the hotel, and there were like 10 Elantra, there were like 10 Elantra N-lines, like
10 lines.
There were like 7 or 8 Kona N-lines. There were a few Tucson N-lines, which I didn't even know existed. That's just a trim package. It's no performance or anything. And one Sonata N-line.
Did you get shafted?
I made a beeline. No, I wanted to drive it.
Oh, you wanted it?
Yeah. So stupidly, I should have taken something Elantra because I haven't driven it. But I'm like, ooh, there's one Sonata. And I'm with Matt from Downshift. And Matt's like, oh yeah, the Sonata's the best one. I'm like, yeah, let's go for the Sonata. So I like ran over to it and got it. Also because we had to drive quite a ways.
That would be
and
a nice
that was the most comfortable. It would have been the most comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, we took the Sonata and I drove there, squealed the tires a few times, didn't get in trouble with the law.
Yeah, that's just part of the car.
Yeah, you just wheel spin. Literally with traction control on, it just lights them up.
Which is remarkable because we were just talking about how there's no wheel spin with the Elantra in, or the Veloster in.
No, with cold tires from a dig, you'll get a little chirp, but
right. Yeah. Can we take a quick reprieve for me to grab and beer?
Yeah, you already went through your whole can of gluten there.
Oh,
you want me to go get it for you?
Okay.
I mean, I have to get up regardless.
If you feel like making the trek,
I'll make the trek. Just entertain the ladies and gentlemen while I'm gone.
Of course. I'll entertain them by putting a cut in the edit. Oh. I have stopped asking questions about this garage.
I know you have.
2 fridges, 1 not plugged in. Snowblower. BMX bikes. 4 Contour SVTs.
No.
1's not an SVT.
Wait, how many Contours are here total? There's 5, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 5.
One of them is not an SVT, so you're correct there. That's why you said 4.
1 is not like the others.
Yeah.
And 1 technically is not an SVT right now because it doesn't have an SVT motor.
Yeah, but the VIN is SVT.
Sure.
The one that isn't an SVT has an SVT motor.
God damn it. Yeah, and that's why I've stopped caring.
Well, if you ever have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you. You keeping track?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
I
am a car enthusiast.
I updated my mileage log over there. My vehicles.
Oh, you put
the Grom is rip.
Yeah, the Grom is rip.
V-Strom up to 5,500 miles.
How many miles did it have when it scarred me?
Probably like 46, 48 range.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think my skin is burned off by now. Enough heat cycles.
Likely.
Yeah.
A lot of rain too. Ninja, 17,200 miles, running strong. I gotta lube the chain on that one.
That doesn't seem like a lot of miles for that bike. Or is it? I don't know anything about motorcycles. Is that a lot of miles for that?
I think it's kind of a lot for that style bike.
Isn't it like really old?
It's 2006.
Oh, well.
So that's...
Well, my Porsche is a 2006 and it's got double the miles of that.
Right, but your Porsche has air conditioning.
So does a motorcycle. It's just the wind.
It's just a little 250cc, like...
I'd
say it's about average. Excuse me?
You enjoy riding it?
I do. Yeah. The only thing it's lacking a bit in is... well, there's not much power. It's kind of like an on-off switch. Like, I'm going or I'm not.
Like an EV?
Well, no, it's very much like an ND or an NA Miata. You're like full throttle,
gotcha,
rolling through the gears, or your carrying speed.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it also, the suspension's not fantastic. So around our awful roads, it's kind of like, ugh. I didn't really notice too much until I got back on the V-Strom, and the V-Strom felt like a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Because it's all big old suspension.
Yeah, big touring bike.
And then the Maverick's up over 6,000 RPM, and I think I'm going to take it to old Gene Buttman Ford and get an oil change done.
You should do it.
The only reason I'm going to have the dealer do it instead... Well, actually, I am a bit torn, I will admit. Because I have what's called Ford Pass points, which is now the stupid thing that Ford is doing that, like, you purchase things, you get points that you can redeem for things. And one of the things that I can redeem my points on is maintenance. Oil changes.
Yeah, you should just do it.
However, I bet you a well-made how to change the oil on a Ford Maverick EcoBoost would probably do pretty well.
That would you'd probably profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe you should do that.
So we could throw it up on the Quick Jacks and show like...
Shout out to Ben Pack.
Exactly, Ben Pack and Quick Jack, and change the oil in here. So I should probably do that.
Oh, wait, that's actually a really good idea. There's probably not very many of those, if any.
And if they are, it's probably, hey, everyone, I'm here in my garage, and this is how you change the oil. And, and then it cuts to him under the car. You got to take off this panel, and then it cuts to, and that's how you change the oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we do like a nice quality Zoom mic, like, how to change the oil.
Hey, everybody.
It's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we're going to change the oil on our 2022 Ford Maverick. We've put about 6,300 miles on this truck, and it's been great, but we're going to change the oil a little bit early here, even though the oil life indicator will probably go to about 10,000 miles. We want to change it a little bit early because, a lot of people like to change break-in oil a little bit sooner and stuff. So we're going to throw it up on the Ben Pack Quick Jack here. And figure out how to change the oil.
You just insert this audio.
I just don't even I have to feel like you, me, Chris, we're pretty good at the improving at this point. I mean, just being able to just stand up and talk about a car. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of the pros have some sort of script writers and stuff. Like, I wonder how much of like Jason Camisa's stuff he actually comes up with, or if he's got like.
Remind me who that is.
He's the one who does the Haggerty videos right now. Really, I haven't watched any Jason Camisa.
I know the name. I just couldn't.
All right, well, insert other person, Carlos Lagos.
Okay, I know who that is. He was on Motor Trend, right?
Yeah, now he's at Car and Driver.
Ooh, just went to the dark side.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Even like the Top Gear guys, like
I know who they are.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But no, I think what I'm saying is I think you and I are better than all of them.
I feel like once your production quality is as high as some of those other people, you have to like get
Rely
it
on the
right.
script.
Yeah, like you have to make sure, because like they plan out like, well, you've got this section of filming, and here's what you got to say here, or whatever. You know, like we just go out on the same loop every time.
Yep.
Like base what we're going to talk about.
But right then, I just pulled something out of my ass for that, that oil change.
Oh yeah,
video.
no, I can do that too.
Or like the Kia, the Niro event.
Oh yeah, I did
like,
that for the Honda, whatever it was, HRV.
Speaking of that Niro video is doing quite well. So
good. More
encouragement for you to do a walk around for DM when you're down at this Toyota thing.
Oh right, yep.
Gluten.
We'll see. We'll see how the Honda one does. I need to look at when the embargo lifts.
Yeah, I think it's in June.
I think it's June 7th. It should be when I'm back.
Speaking of that, are you gonna have time to edit all those videos that are planning on going up this week?
Hopefully.
Okay, I need to know.
Yeah,
I need to know a little sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I should be able to do it. Yeah,
I should not have much going on tomorrow, so I can edit some things that, like, worst case, if you're like, we need to do some flip flopping.
Yeah, that might be best.
Yeah,
because like, just bump them a little bit.
Right. It's not like I considered your Toyota trip when I put all those videos on this week.
Yeah, no, it's just been a crazy crazy. It's already been a crazy week, and then also next week, and then the week after. And then the week after that, you get married. And
shout out Alyssa.
I also go to Portland. June is just like
June's
for both of us. It's like June is just like
which
crazy.
The cool thing is June also stands to be like one of the coolest months of our entire careers and my life, considering I'm getting married.
Yeah,
but like your first roles, Chris Amos's first roles. I mean, he's driven like a '60s Rolls, but my first roles outside of a parking lot.
Your first wedding.
My first wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. First, hopefully last. Our first like multi supercar, sports car comparo.
Yep.
Video. Some
and
great press trips for you. And a mini. And some sort of coupe.
2 press trips.
Big press trips too. Not just like go down and drive some Elantras, but like
that was a fun trip though.
Right. Anyway, back to it.
What else?
Mazda Miata. Great car.
Yes. Do we even need to talk about that one?
It's
Soul Red Crystal.
The one thing
Did you film anything on that for Daily Motor?
No.
Okay, well, if you want to see the content on that car, go to the Winding Road channel.
The one thing I will say about the Miata is I can't decide if I would buy one. A new one.
I wouldn't. I'd get a NA.
Would...
Or an NB Mazda Speed, though I have not driven that car. Have you driven that car?
Mm-mm.
I want to drive that car so bad. That's like one of the cars I want to drive most.
Up there for you?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just tough for me because the ND, especially the ND2, is so good because it redlines so high and
it's got like 100 power, 180. You know, the ND2 is the first Miata to have more power than the Mazda Speed. By 4
that makes
horsepower.
Sense. Didn't the NC actually make more power than the ND when it came out? But the NC was also heavier. So I
don't know. I don't know anything about the NC, but Amos claims it's the best Miata.
Yeah, it's quite a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his mother did she own one? Maybe he owned one. I don't know. My stepmother owns an NC. So
isn't it automatic?
It is automatic, but it's still a Miata.
Shame.
I know. But yeah, Miata, good car. No big surprise.
Yep.
Then we have the Infiniti QX60 autograph in warm titanium.
Yeah, brown.
We spent a lot of time in that car.
We spent 14 hours in it together.
It's not bad.
It filtered out your burps pretty well. I don't remember ever smelling any.
My burps don't smell. They're just loud.
They have smelled in the past.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Depends on what I've eaten, I guess.
Yeah. If it's like Thai food or whatever.
Yeah.
Then
Fortunately, I don't eat that too often. I wasn't a huge fan of it when we had gotten home from our long road trip, but I think we were focusing a little bit too much on the nitpicks, on the poor.
It's hard to not when you're in it for so long.
When you're in it for so long, and when you drive so many cars, because every new car is decent. So you do tend to focus on the nitpicks. It's decently priced, $62,000 or so. It looks nice. It's got a 9-speed auto. It's a naturally aspirated V6. All good things. It's easy to drive.
Yeah, it'd be really awesome if it was $50,000.
So now, what?
It doesn't feel refined. It still feels like it's just a Nissan Pathfinder.
You're right. The GV80 does feel quite a bit more refined.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Wow, now you just made it even worse for me now. Yeah, wow. Yeah, $65,000 you can get a GV80.
62. And it's the autograph edition. So I bet the QX...
No, it was 65.
Was it 65?
Yeah.
Okay. Something else we had
See what
recently
kind of a
was 62.
GV80 you can get for $65,000. Or what
the
else?
GV80 is not a 3-row, is it? I don't think so.
I'll drive 2 less people to not have a Pathfinder.
GV80
I don't think it's a bad car. I just think that there are other vehicles. What does that start at? 48.9. Granted, that's for like a rear-wheel drive base model 4-cylinder.
QX60 starts at 47.
Okay, so they're very comparable.
Yeah, you could get this sensory model and probably get a lot of the stuff.
Not sensory. Sensory! It's in all caps. Pure Lux Sensory.
Which is better, according to AutoTrader? QX60 versus GV80.
This is going to determine my thoughts on AutoTrader.
Oh, they both have optional all-wheel drive. Did you know? GV80 comes with an optional.
It's a good-looking car. That
it
Infiniti.
is good looking. It's a little overly aggressive for my taste, though. Why does? Yeah, this is aggressive. What happened. You had it parked next to the CT5V Blackwing, and I thought to myself, I almost took a photo and said, "Why does the 3-row luxury family hauler have to look as angry as the 660 horsepower, fire-breathing supercharged V8?" Anyway.
Okay, what don't they like? No hybrid, captain's chairs only in autograph trim, and no knobs for stereo tuning. What? Oh.
For like changing the track and
stuff.
My
God, that's such an old person thing to complain about.
No, I'm actually with it because if you and I...
To tune radio stations?
Yes.
Who listens to the radio still?
No, this is exactly what happened when I went up north with my buddy last year. We were in the Buick, whatever the fuck we had.
The
was it an Envision
thing?
It was an Envision or an Encore GX. I think it was an Envision though.
The one that made in China?
Yeah,
the Envision.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite cars we've ever had.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, it was also mine because of this reason. It didn't have any sort of tuning control. So I was using the navigation, but my buddy kept wanting to change between various radio stations. We were using FM up north.
See, why didn't you just plug your phone in and listen?
Okay, so even if the phone were plugged in, to go from the nav to changing... I mean, yes, I guess technically on the home screen of Apple CarPlay, you could see nav and change the tracks, but he wanted to use the radio. I mean, for whatever up north, he just wanted to listen to the FM station.
75 years old?
Well, a lot of old people use radio.
They do, and I guess in a Buick that is important.
Exactly. So if Jim Bob is riding passenger seat next to Betty Ann driving,
right?
Then if Jim Bob wants to switch from AM 105 to
if Jim Bob wants to switch from
20
to then he's able to do it.
Well, he's unable in the Buick. Because
right.
if Betty Ann is trying to use the navigation, then you have to hit home and then radio and then change. And then, of course, Jim Bob doesn't change it back to Apple CarPlay because he's inconsiderate and a misogynist. So Betty Ann has to go back to CarPlay. It's a mess. Put a fucking knob. That's all I have to say.
Daily Motor top tip. Put a fucking knob.
So I'm with you, AutoTrader. Other than that,
God, that looks great in green.
It looks so good.
What don't they like about that? Third row is pointless. No hybrid option. All-wheel drive is expensive with the base engine.
There's also no hybrid option in the QX60. Why didn't they complain about it there?
They did. If you scroll up and read it, they did complain. First,
no hybrid version. Touche. Okay.
Okay, so what
Do they choose one? QX60 benefits: lower starting price. I mean, nominal, but yeah, not wrong.
Buy
3
like
rows of seats and all trims. Reputation for quality.
So I always try to save $1,000 when I'm spending $50,000. Also, reputation for quality from Infiniti. Sorry, I used to own an Infiniti. I'm sorry.
There's nothing. Infiniti actually is fairly strong. I mean, other than the CVTs, which this car no longer has.
Fair.
The only thing is there is a little bit of the stitching that's coming loose on the seat.
You didn't have to add that. You could have kept going with your point.
I'm not trying to sell the car.
No.
I'm giving all the facts. Also, side note, I meant to bring this up to you right when you got here, but I was distracted by the beer. I was debating on whether I want to tell you about this or not, or just have you experience it right away.
Okay.
But let me just ask, did you put the steering column of the Cadillac all the way down?
No.
Okay.
Does it touch your legs?
No, not quite. After this podcast, I'm gonna go tell you. I'm gonna go show you.
Oh, does something rattle or something?
No, it's maybe even before. We'll come back and we'll record the end of the podcast. I just want to demonstrate to you how GM it was.
Oh, good.
Okay. Anyway,
the thing I appreciated most about the Cadillac is how loud the passenger seat rattles when there's no one sitting in it.
You told me about that. I didn't notice, but I believe you.
It's because you had the AKG cranked all the way up.
Perhaps. Or the tires were just making so
Or
much
the tires
noise.
were so loud that you couldn't hear it.
Choice of engines in the GV80. I mean, I guess. Longer warranty, that's fair. And cargo space. Surprised the cargo space is more than the Infiniti.
I really like the dashboard in the Infiniti. The quilted leather and the...
It looks nice. I also like the dashboard in the Genesis. But
so you get more horsepower out of the 4-cylinder in the Genesis. 5 more.
We think
and quite a bit more torque.
The GV80 is the way to go if you only need the 2 rows. Handsome, well equipped. I wouldn't get the V6, but okay. Not exactly a blast to drive. It's kind of sad though that the 2-liter turbo makes more power. But
it's not exactly a blast to drive.
Yeah.
You can't really say that about. Well, Durango, the hot Durangos are really fun to drive.
Yeah,
but most things in that class
loud.
are just like whatever. They're nice, but I wouldn't call them a blast to drive.
The QX60 did get remarkable fuel economy.
It did. It was
what did it get
impressive.
on your test? I did the test. What did it get? It got like 28. It was, which is quite good.
That's great.
Higher than EPA.
It got probably 27
on
our
our
combined driving.
Yeah. Quite good.
And that was even including topping it out on a 90. I'm on a close course
with a professional driver.
With a professional driver behind the wheel.
Yep.
What did it go to? 120.
I think it was like 116. I think you were pretty close calling it. Yeah. Okay. So the biggest question that everyone wants to know is it a good car? And I am gonna have to go with no. Sorry, Infiniti. I like it.
So
I do like it. If someone, we come back to this fairly regularly. If someone came up to you or messaged you and said,
I'm buying a QX60.
I'm gonna buy a QX60.
Okay.
Okay. It's a good car. You're not gonna have any fucking problems with it.
Why is that such a Nissan thing though? Because the last car we talked about that was the Kicks.
You're right. However, you had a relative come to you and say, I'm going to buy a Nissan Rogue, and you successfully talked her out of it.
Yeah, she got an
Nissan
Explorer, which
that's
not much better, but at least it's not a Rogue.
I feel like I hear about more Explorers breaking under 10,000 miles than I do Rogues, unfortunately. Rogues all break at 70,000 miles.
Yeah.
But I feel like Explorers break under warranty.
I told her to get a CX-5.
Yeah.
And
then
woman. She went and saw Stu, which is good because it helped Stu also.
Fair enough. Shout out Stu, making that commission money.
Mm-hmm. So he can buy more Contours and Merkers.
Yeah. Are those all? Those are all the cars we had. Excellent.
Yeah.
All 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Side note.
Cars.
Chris Amos has the BMW iX right now, and he says it's fantastic.
He says it's like the best or the most refined EV that he's ever driven.
And like the quietest car he's ever
driven.
I think Car and Driver tested it, and it's like the quietest car they've ever tested.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. We get that in like a month and a half.
It's kind of a shame that we've been stalling so much throughout this, or just sort of shooting the shit podcast, because we've drove a lot of other cars this week.
We did?
Yeah, the F-150 Lightning.
Oh, wow.
That was last week.
This is how my brain is right
I know.
now. I have no capacity for anything else. My brain is like my SD card right now. It's a 128 gigabyte card, which usually gives you about 4 hours of storage, and I have 4 minutes left of available storage on the card, and it's full of stuff from this week. I have 4 hours of footage from this week, and it's like 15 different videos.
Someone's gonna be like broken down on the side of the road with flat tire in their Carrera GT on your way home, and you're gonna fix it for them. They're gonna be like, "Would you like to drive it?" And you're gonna be like, "I can't film it."
Well, I don't even have my camera with me, so
fair enough.
Carrera GT.
We drove the F-150 Lightning, and I have to say,
very impressive.
Primo.
Under first impressions, very
good.
Impressive. Although, did you notice how that Platinum had a really bad interior rattle? The Platinum Lightning.
Yeah, it's a shitty Ford interior.
Something was rattling really bad in there.
Also,
if you watch the Winding Road video, you'll hear it.
The shifter wouldn't. I had to rattle it a few times to get it.
My dad has that shifter in his truck, and I don't know how he lives with it.
Yeah.
I've told him on multiple occasions, I was like, I would literally get rid of this truck because of the shifter. It's so frustrating. It's like you can't do anything quickly. You have to okay, set your hand on the shifter, pull the button, okay? Give it a second.
Let it think.
Well, then go into reverse, then neutral, then drive. Mm-hmm. It's just like, why can't I just grab my gear? There's a fly.
Actually,
or a mosquito. Skeeter.
Yeah.
No, I hate that shifter. It feels like a toy.
Yeah, it's so cheap. And for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Ford came out with this revolutionary shifter that you can press the button and have it.
It's so loud. It's like
fold flat, and then you can put your McDonald's on this big.
They say it's for a laptop.
Yeah.
How many people are going to use that at all to begin with? But how many people are going to use it for a laptop? I say 4% of people. Right. The other 96%, if they use it, like what I've used it for every single time I have one of those, is food and Starbucks.
Yep. I could see someone using it in like a lower trim, like an XLT on a job site.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're gonna like Platinum or Limited.
That Raptor had the horrible shifter in it too.
Yeah.
Because it had the table.
Why can't Ford just humble themselves and do a little dial like
the Ram? To be fair, if Ford put a dial in it, may be worse.
Shit.
I don't like the way that the dials feel.
Great.
Yeah, but does it spin continuously?
It does. Well, yeah, why do some of them spin continuously and others don't?
Yeah, because like the one in the Mach-E spins continuously, which I don't like.
But the Fusion ones
would click. Yeah.
Yeah. Strange.
Maybe it's so the government can have more control over the dial shifter.
Don't get some of these people started.
Oh, we're not wearing masks today, so they've already clicked off by now.
Yeah, fun fact for any of you listening, our most disliked podcast episode is the one that I was literally trying to keep Chris from becoming ill.
Yeah.
Which I feel like
frick you for
caring
trying
about
to be nice to me.
Yep. Really, I just want you to make more videos. So I was just
he's like trying to make sure that I'm healthy so I can continue to work.
And there's no workman's comp for you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'll just go out and blow a bunch of money on the Amex.
There you go. But no, F-150 Lightning, we didn't get a ton of time in it, but it was really nice. It was so nice being in a large vehicle like that and pulling out onto the road and just accelerating up to the speed limit.
Not having
no
to
shifting,
rev it out,
no revs, just a
no,
peaceful...
The best part about that is you didn't have to have a Ford 10-speed in there. It's just nothing.
It's just not. Yeah, it's just and motor.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the Lightning is, if we can talk about the Mach-E for just another second. The sound in the Mach-E, the propulsion sound, to me sounds like a Coyote revving at like 4,000. Coyote, if you're unfamiliar, the V8 engine that they have in the 5.0 Mustang. Okay. It sounds like a Coyote revving at like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, mixed with like an electrical buzz, like a light bulb. Okay. I thought in the F-150 Lightning, the propulsion sound sounded like the 3.5 liter turbo V6.
Really?
Yes. So I think which, I mean, it makes sense. Sure, I think for the Mustang, they still want it to sound like a Mustang through the speakers. Mm-hmm. And they still want the F-150 to sound familiar for, 90% of their buyers that are probably going to be coming from F-150 EcoBoosts want it to feel familiar still.
Yeah. Well, check out our video that isn't going to be up for at least a week or two.
A week? Oh, man.
Well, I have.
Oh, you have one. That's right.
Yeah, video as well.
I'm thinking
on the Lightning. And the frunk is excellent on the Lightning.
Oh, that's the best part.
Large, powered. It's gonna break someday, but
and then whatever you have in there
will be stuck forever.
Yeah. I would like to think that there's probably a model where that isn't power. maybe not.
You're pretty heavy. You have to have some pretty sizable struts. And it goes up very high. I think that's the main reason it needs to be powered is like, it's not like a normal hood.
That's true. I guess if they just, put the same thing in every truck, it's probably more cost effective too.
And then we drove a bunch of other random fun shit. New WRX, decent.
Acura MDX Type S, kind of yawn.
Meh.
Which
Challenger.
I was really sad. I really was hoping to
Well, what
like
did you
that.
expect from a fucking 3-row Acura?
I thought it would be
Flames?
like the TLX, or what is the thing?
The TLX Type S.
Yeah, that.
But that's a sedan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but okay. Charger Hellcat, crazy. Durango Hellcat, also crazy.
But it's Acura. I mean,
I know.
Compared to Dodge.
Sound system, though.
It's a good sound system.
Would you call it S tier?
I don't know. I need more time in it.
Okay. I was leaning towards S.
Really?
S tier in that car. Yeah. It sounded really good.
It'd be cool to get
A plus, probably.
I'll try to get that the same week that we can get like a verified S tier car, like
an Escalade,
the Volvo or the Escalade or something like that, and then compare side to side.
Yeah, we do need to. I would like to spend some more time in the MDX Type S.
Yeah, I'll ask.
What else did we drive that was notable? Oh, Silverado ZR2.
Yeah, you drove that.
Yeah, I did. It was cool.
And truck.
Yeah.
New interior though.
Yeah, new interior,
Nice.
which is great. Easy access to your cameras and stuff right
That's
on the
good.
screen, and yeah, it was cool. I didn't drive it off road, but I drove it on road, and it was nice. Yeah,
Cool.
just felt like a truck.
Next week, as you saw a little bit earlier, we are getting the Volvo XC60. We thought it was going to be a T6.
Nope, it's a T8.
Actually, a T8.
I
don't know
like
when
the
that was
T8.
changed. I do too. So hopefully Volvo's just
At least it's
okay
a
with
22.
less
Because the last one
content.
was probably a 2020. Because it was a while ago. Fun fact: the XC60 T8 is the first press car I ever drove.
Wow.
It
really?
was silver.
This will be a little throwback then.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
press car I ever drove.
Neat.
And that was just about a year and a half ago. It was
Okay.
late 2020.
All right.
Right after I may not have. No, I think I had quit my job at that point. Quit my 9 to 5.
The dealer that
The
shall not be
Honda.
named.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of that dealer that shall not be named, he just bought a McLaren 720S.
Oh, did he?
Had it delivered. Oh, and didn't get it delivered to his house.
Got it delivered to the dealer.
Yeah, so he could show everyone.
Sure.
Not in like a, hey, look at my car. As like more in like a, look
Yeah.
what I got.
Right. And yeah, look what money I'm not giving to you guys.
Right.
Instead I'm spending.
Look at
on
my
this
like
car.
ancient dealership that needs to be renovated. Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry, whatever you were talking about.
I would not want to drive that car to that dealership or from that dealership. Either one.
Heck no.
The roads are horrendous.
Yeah.
I'd actually be more worried about it being damaged by the roads than it being stolen.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it getting stolen. I don't think any thief around that area has the audacity to try and
Exactly.
steal a McLaren. I don't
right.
think they
They're
would.
be much more successful stealing FCA products.
Yes.
Stellantis.
Stellantis.
All right, we're gonna take a quick pause. I'm gonna show Chris the very GM-ness of the Cadillac, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah. Do you think Peugeots will be stolen if they come over here?
Are they Stellantis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does the cluster look different? Did you change it?
I did change it.
I like it better like this.
Good. Now, put this. Come to slow down. Put the steering column all the way down. It's powered, which is good. Now, try turning.
Oh my god! Why is it doing that?
It's like
it's like broken.
Yeah, it's like they
It's like
didn't
it's
line
rubbing.
it up properly,
Yeah,
and something is rubbing in.
It's something.
Show like
internally
how
is-
much effort you need to put, especially turning left. Like it's like stuck. I was going on the highway and I like could barely turn the wheel. But if you put it up just a little bit, then it's
Yeah. Now it's normal again. But all the way down, you can feel it run into whatever it's running into.
So classic General Motors. They all these years of making steering columns, they couldn't figure out how to
Why did no one like check?
quality control that.
Yeah.
Because it's made by union workers who just send it out regardless.
Is it in quiet mode right now?
Yeah.
Must be.
It kind of sounds tinny and shitty in quiet mode.
Yeah, it does. Why do you have it in quiet mode?
Well, press V.
My mode is not quiet mode.
Oh.
That's more like it.
So if you plan on purchasing a CT5 the Blackwing, just don't put the steering column all the way down.
Yeah, don't be...
Because you won't be able to turn your car.
Don't be short, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, General Motors can build an amazing performance car, but they still can't get the basics down.
Can't build a steering column.
Literally, they could have just made the steering column not go that extra half inch.
Yeah.
I'm curious if that is the case on more Cadillac, like CT5s.
Yeah, like if it's only that one.
Yeah.
Well, if you're still watching 70 minutes into this podcast and you own a CT5V or any CT5,
write us at mycarsbroken@thedailymotor.com and let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. What's going on next week? Next week, we'll be getting supercars. They're not supercars, but sports cars. LC500s.
No, next week is the Volvo. This week's the Volvo. Oh God.
It's already Monday night.
Oh.
Chris is going to be a zombie next week. Oh, I'm not even on my fucking niche. We need an intern. Intern who's willing to work for just dog shit money. If you'd like to work for dog shit money,
write to us. I'd like to work for dog shit money at thedailymotor.uk.
And everyone wish Chris good travels down to Texas. Maybe he'll come back Dallas. With some belt buckles,
mustache,
some recessed views on women's rights and border control,
maybe,
and immigration, and I'm not gonna keep.
Yeah,
going
you should probably just stop while you can there.
We love you, Toyota. Send us the GR Corolla.
Yeah,
and we'll see you and speak to you next week. We're Charlie and Chris with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.